Ethan, one smile right there. Hold that right there. There it is. Nice.
And one over the shoulder, Jennifer.
Just here, left here. And one more time this way, please.
And Jen.
And Jonathan.
Can we do it?
And Jonathan, right here, sir. Jonathan.
Pretty awesome. Yeah,
it is.
It's a wonderful feeling, that's for sure. Yeah,
it's a surreal honor.
Yeah,
and we're just so grateful. And the fans have been so warm and so open and loving.
Yeah.
And they've embraced our Elphie and Glinda in a way that there are no words.
I don't know if I expected that kind of reception for them to welcome us in such a way, and it's been really wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things we're proudest of. Is just
that. Being able to move things together. Yeah.
All the movies I've made, and I've been lucky enough to make a bunch of them, and I've been in some good ones, and I've had some great experiences. This is the cherry on top. It took the cake, but this was uncommon. Oh no! John M. Chu, a spectacular director. It's just spectacular. He's created a Meisterwerk, and this particular movie, Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, performances for the ages. They're the all-time greats, musically, cinematically, and theatrically. And Jonathan Bailey and Michelle Yeoh, I just felt so lucky to be in this movie. I'm just grateful. It was a glorious experience. Well, the Jeff Goldblum wizard, I don't know how to describe it. It's an interesting character, Frank Morgan, I had in my head too from the beautiful movie, and originally I saw Joel Grey on stage, and I adore him. I know him a little bit. I hope to see him tonight, in fact. Then I saw my friend Ben Vereen play it on YouTube. I never saw him on stage. I wish I had. I just tried to uphold the honor and beauty of this show and that part, and the greats who have done it before and the greats who will do it after. John M. Chu helped me do something different for this movie. It's not the man just behind the curtain, but he's got a whole workshop.
Yeah.
He's a kind of inventor, a Nikola Tesla type. And there's nobody that's, as this movie says, I think, on the show, and the book by Gregory Maguire, nobody's really all good or all bad. We don't know. We can always see things from another angle. So anyway, you see things from an angle that allow you to see my hazel eyes in this.
It's been a whirlwind for sure, a journey, but it means the absolute world to me to be a part of something this big and this amazing and so beloved too. It feels otherworldly for sure, like an out-of-body moment and very, very surreal. But I'm so glad and honored to be the one to do that because I didn't have a whole lot of it in general growing up. And so to be a part of that for so many other people out there is so important. It means everything to me. Everybody was, from jump, just so welcoming and so kind. My first day on set or just overseas for rehearsals and everything in my green room, Ari had left a thing of flowers on my table, and Cynthia had gifted me these, I forget what they're called, but they're like gummies for your throat, for throat care, which is just so sweet and so thoughtful. So everybody outside of them too has just been lovely. John, just genuinely everybody. We can hope for the best. I feel like people are kinder. I like to see the best in people, so hopefully yes.
The car, and everybody was screaming my name, and I heard them screaming when Adina got out, and I cried because I thought, oh my gosh, they remember. And it's emotional. Sorry. I'm so glad I'm alive to see it. I'm so happy that John Chu was the one they had directed. Cynthia and Ariana are powerful. They are a power couple, and they are going to bring it all the way home. It's a love letter to our show. It's a love letter to what we tried to, implant on Broadway, and I think we did successfully, and they just paid homage and then made it theirs. Everybody has committed. I was getting my nails done this week, and just a sweet little random girl I met, she was like, pink and green, and she had each hand, and I thought, man, is it me or is it everywhere? Like, everybody's committing, not just to people on the carpet, but everyone.
I met John Chu. We had a 2.5-hour chat in Belsize Park in London, and I knew within 5 minutes that this could only go one way in the hands of John Chu. There's so much sort of love and care, and everyone is a massive fan of the original production, but his interpretation of some of the most sort of poignant and human themes in this, I think is just extraordinary, and it's created a cinematic event. And obviously, Wizard of Oz is something that I grew up with all generations of my family. So I'm excited to watch this with them again, and it's a very special film that everyone can enjoy, and I think that's what we need at the moment. It was shot over a week and a half. There are amazing. My takeaways are watching 300 professional dancers follow your every move is wild and empowering on a very nerve-wracking and thrilling level. But Chris Scott, the choreographer, has worked with John Chu for years, and Alice Brooks as well, who is the cinematographer. And so they know how to shoot a dance to make it look as exciting as possible. But yeah, I felt sort of sexy, cool, and it's once in a lifetime, isn't it, to be able to do that. Live singing, yeah. There's a lot of warming up in the trailer in the morning, but also it's testament to the girls because we know that they can sing and we know that they're extraordinary talents. But the skill to sustain being able to do that 14 hours a day for them for up to a year, and to have a strike in the middle of it. And as Cynthia reminded us last night, she hadn't filmed Defying Gravity until after the strike. So she was kept on ice for that amount of time. But yeah, it's amazing to be around that much talent and that much love. And I think everyone just lent in. And if we've done the original production proud and the fans of the original production proud, then we've done well.
It really is. It's honestly, it's kind of how I feel on the inside. So it's cool to see it on the outside. I mean, people have loved Wicked for 20 years and loved The Wizard of Oz for 90 years or something, give or take. So I don't know, it's a beautiful thing to see, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of a movie that hopefully is being embraced by the fandom of Wicked in the same way that they embraced the Broadway show. And I don't know, I'm part of that fandom, so it's exciting for me. it was really something. We had time to do some rehearsal, which I think is a real privilege when you're making a film, and it was just so immersive, right? Every set was fully built and beautiful, designed to the most minute detail. So I don't know. I've never experienced anything quite like that. It felt like walking onto the set of Ben-Hur or something. John is not only a visionary director and just kind of brilliant, he's also the kindest human, and he put together a team of people that are so deeply invested in making something beautiful. And I don't know, he just leads with such generosity. I learned from him every single second of every single day that I was on set. I'm very grateful for John. Bach is a well-intentioned, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young guy looking for his community, looking for his space, and he sometimes stumbles and trips on his way. But I do think that, especially in the first movie, he's leading with these good intentions, and it's really exciting to play somebody like that, and sort of the effects of what happens when you don't necessarily get the thing that you're longing for, and how you deal with it. Absolutely never. One of the craziest things is they're both unbelievable vocalists, and their voices are so different. And then when they sang together, they kind of sound like one. And it was just like a really beautiful metaphor for the way that they acted too. Like their performances as Glinda and Elphaba, they're so different, and yet they're just an undeniable duo. And on screen and off, it's wonderful to witness. I was lucky enough to be on set for a few days of Defying Gravity, and just heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and also gives you chills because of the power of their voices. It's just beautiful.
A little bit of an out-of-body experience, but it's a really fun experience. I've never been to a big Hollywood movie premiere before, so I'm just enjoying the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like giving it over. It felt like a wonderful new collaborator who had brilliant ideas, who, of course, has this sensational cinematic imagination. We felt in great hands, but, it was, I'm told sometimes if you sell your show to the movies, they thank you and say, go away, and, we'll see you at the premiere, but it wasn't like that with this. The whole thing was very collaborative all the way through, and John, it's certainly John's vision, and he's certainly, our leader, but we always felt part of the process and listened to, and it was great to work with him. Well, as you say, they're world-class voices. Cynthia plays her voice like an instrument. She is a virtuoso, is the only way I can put it. She has so much control, and she can try all these different things, and, we work together on, let's try this, and, oh, what if we do that? And she brought so much into it. Ariana, the thing that I like so much about what Ariana has done is how I think people are going to be very surprised, because there are parts of Ariana's voice that, of course, she's always had, and talents and skills she's always had, but she hasn't shown them really before. So I think her fans are in for a surprise and in for a treat. It's really exciting. Obviously, countries where they don't see the stage show, and places where people, can't get there. Plus, this is a whole other experience, the movie, It's just, I'm obviously not going to knock the stage show because I think it's marvelous, and, I'm very proud of it. But this is, another level of both for the storytelling and the spectacle and the emotion of it. It's very exciting.
Up for the challenge. When I was asked, it was the opportunity of a lifetime to have the opportunity to become a part of the Wizard of Oz Wicked culture, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to do justice to everyone's hope. Absolutely, and I tried to incorporate as many shades of pink as I could. Green, I left to the makeup department, but definitely for pink. Well, Wicked has such an amazing fan base, and the ownership is, out of this world. And I just think that it speaks to the love that they have for this amazing story and everything that's been created before, and then also our film. So I'm really excited about that. my collaboration with John Chu is, it's been one of the best. I mean, he is an amazing director and so giving, and it's been a delight to collaborate with him. They're all my favorites. No, indeed. I mean, I cherish all of them, and hope that everyone else really loves them as well. Yes, but she made it look like it was just going to float across the set. Yeah. So I have to give it to her. I give it to Cynthia Erivo in how they have reimagined these two amazing.
John and I have known each other for 25 years, and the other night we were at USC, and I said, "This is complete magic," and he said, "No, this was our destiny," and it does feel like a destiny to be here 25 years ago, before there were Hollywood musicals were dead, pre-Moulin Rouge, pre-Chicago, and the two of us, we were kids and we had a dream to make musicals, and here we are with Wicked. In this case, it took an army to make this movie. We had so many wonderful craftspeople and human beings and storytellers and filmmakers, and seeing them, many people here tonight from the crew, it's really spectacular. We wanted to make a old Hollywood movie, but also make it contemporary. Make an old Hollywood movie for 2024. And so that was our goal. So we had real sets, 17 stages, that the sets were wall to wall, floor to ceiling, and then 4 huge backlots to the size of American football fields. So we had real places to shoot and real places to light and real places for John to be able to create, and we looked 360 degrees all the time. We rolled only on 2 cameras for most of the movie. There are a few places, Emerald City and Shiz, we used 3 cameras, but Dancing Through Life was 1.
It's been a great experience. I mean, I started working on this about 3 years ago when my hair was brown. And it's been such an incredible experience. This is my first musical. It's been an incredible experience working with Ariana and Cynthia and John and all the actors. It's been awesome. It is. I have to be a lot more quiet, and I usually my approach to visual effects is always be completely invisible, so that people really don't know that there is visual effects throughout the whole movie. I mean, the whole idea was to make a delightful picture full of beautiful images. Yeah, very much. I mean, there was some fear there. We did all the transformation for the monkeys, and there was that thing about what do we make here a horror thing, or do we go the other way? And I think we kind of like went through the middle of it, and I think it's photorealistic, but it's not a horror.
It is an insane experience. I mean, being here and being surrounded by so many people that look so incredible, like it's going to be a good night. It was such an incredible experience. Like, I'm sure that all of us are going to get really emotional throughout the night because it's been such a long but incredible experience. Life-changing, incredible, stunning, gorgeous, and just really nice. Oh, really, as a super fan of Wicked, I think everyone is just going to feel the same way I do, which is really
about taking what has already been established with the Broadway show and just giving it, just blossoming it bigger, fleshing out the characters, fleshing out the world that they live in. Just making it more real, more visceral.
We are so fortunate to have an amazing team that we've worked with on film after film after film, literally for decades, some of them. And so we know, and we're doing, especially a specific genre, who's going to be great and who's really going to shine in that genre.
Yeah, it's a tight-knit family. We work over and over again with the same people, and we have a real good shorthand, and we all are just ultimately friends at the end of the day that have the similar sensibilities. And it's the same way with working with John Chu. It feels very much like a deep friendship, and we're all in this together to realize this vision.
When the director says we're done, we're done.
Yeah, you have a feeling that it's a delicate balance. If you keep pushing it any further, you're just going to start getting in the weeds and breaking it. So you have to have a good someone to producer, director to say enough's enough and we're done. We've nailed it. So
it is
one of the best experiences of my life, and of course the best crew in the world, which made it look so wonderful. But working with John Chu, Mark Platt, and these amazing artists is breathtaking. No stronger words really for it. So wonderful. Yes. Making it John's was very important, and of course Ariana's and Cynthia's as well. But certainly drawing on history and from our original production of The Wizard of Oz and Wicked, the stage production, taking everything that was wonderful and then adding to that for our bigger world. Green was finding the bespoke green for Cynthia was a wonderful experience, I have to say. But Emerald City was wonderful. Working with Nathan Crowley and Paul Tazewell. John Chu I've worked with before, so I know how wonderful he is. Yes, it took a city, not a village. Took the whole of London nearly.
I mean, it's hard to put into words because it really has been like a spiritual journey with this man, and I think, to see his growth, I think was the most. I think out of everything that happened, how special this movie is, that's probably the most special for me, because something changed in him for this film, and I don't even say that as though something has changed within me. It is that. He really did have something. I saw him really grab the importance of this film and put it into his soul and then push it out through this movie. And I've experienced it many, many times that he always has that level of care, but something about this one was just special. Yeah. 100%. I think everything was so special. So in other movies, everybody's working so hard and they're collaborating, but a lot of it is existing stuff that you can kind of wrap your head around. This is everything's Ozian, so your brain's everything takes the ultimate side of your creativity to just do it justice. And it's also this grand world that we're getting lucky enough to play in, from the Wizard of Oz, all of L. Frank Baum's history, the books, everything that he's built, and Gregory. It's just been and then Steven comes in. I mean, it's just blows my mind. And Winnie, of course. It's just to be in their company, I think, added something to it too. Was okay, we can't let that down. We got to pull up and deliver. It's hard to say if I have a favorite. That was my first. I did start the whole thing with Dancing Through Life. When John gave me the job, I drove home and I was okay, let me start listening to Dancing Through Life because I know that is one of the staple dance numbers in the Broadway show. So, and also Fiero's probably the closest version to it. I get to be me in Fiero form, dancing on the with the books and the things and all the little charms and gimmicks and things. So that one was definitely very, very special. And then getting Jonathan into the process was incredible because he's such a thoughtful collaborator. It wasn't okay, I'm Fiero, I'm here to dance, I'm going to play this character this way. It was I have very specific ideas, and let's find those moments throughout this number. And I love working like that. It really didn't. You would think there was never a time where we're I hadn't even thought about that, but that is such a testament to those artists because I don't even remember times when we're we got to do it again because of the vocals were off. They were just so on point. Not to say it never happened, but and if it did, it's probably because they just wanted to top themselves and do better. But it just sounded like this incredible display of talent, and vocally, even through all the dancing, there was never a moment where we can't dance like that because then I can't sing. They always just did it.
Working with John Chu was such a dream, and the cast. All the live singing that we had. It was just glorious to put it together with such a beautiful orchestra, and just everybody was all firing on the top of their game. That's what it felt like. It takes more planning and a little bit more thought up front, but until they get on the set and start to actually find out about whether they're able to sing live and with costumes and lighting and all the things that happen, it's always a surprise. This one was a beautiful surprise because it just came together so fantastically. So yeah, it was a little different. Well, without giving too much away, the end of the movie is pretty spectacular. So once they're singing together and we start doing Defying Gravity, there's some magical moments that I get goosebumps now when I watch, having gone through it many, many times. Well, when you've got singers as good as this, honestly, you just get out of the way. I mean, right? What are you going to do? They're just so you embrace it, you preserve it, and give it the best you can. And I'm very, very proud of this film.